Welcome to this episode of No Free Lunch, Economics for a Fallen World. I'm Professor Jeff Guernsey, joined by Dr. Jeff Heyman, the author of our textbook. Dr. Heyman, today we want to talk about a term. Every discipline has its set of terms, and economics is no different. Diminishing marginal utility. Let's chat about that.
Yeah, it's a fundamental concept, and so it's worth taking a few moments. Each one of the terms has real meaning to us. Economists typically talk about a concept called utility as a measure of well-being, happiness, satisfaction. You can think of it however you like, but we're really use the word utility to describe that. And so sometimes you'll think about the personal benefit, the net worth, but we'll all bookkeep that under utility. Marginal is a very important point for economists because it's really important for economists because it's important for each one of us. We make our decisions on what we call the margin, that incremental choice. Do I go out and have another can of Coke? Do I put on another shoe? Whatever it is. We're not talking about, do I go out and buy a case of sodas that I might do for the next year? It's, do I have this particular soda right now? We're making an incremental choice. We call that incremental choice the marginal choice. It's the next, do I go to this football game at the high school on Friday night? And I compare that incremental choice against the opportunity cost, some of our other buzzwords and lingo. What would I have done if I don't go to the football game on Friday night? And that's the cost, what I could have done if I hadn't done that. And then the diminishing aspect is probably fairly clear. It's getting smaller. So let's put all these together now. Imagine, instead of going to that football game on Friday night, you and your friends went to, because it's now a post-COVID world, yes, we hope by the time you watch this video, and you're actually able to go back out to the pizza joints and you don't even have to wear a mask. And you go to a Pizza Hut, we'll say, and let's say they've got a buffet, whatever your favorite pizza joint is. And so when you get there, especially if you're younger with that high metabolism, you're just ravenous when you get to the store. And that first hot piece of pizza, how good does that taste? And I think all of us, unless you, strangely enough, don't like pizza, find that first bite is just incredible. Oh, it's so good. And if I were to ask you, how much does that satisfy you? If I tried to put a price tag, you'd probably say something. I was so hungry, I'd pay like $4 or $5 for that price. I was a piece of pizza. I was so hungry. Now let's do that second piece. You're still able to power that one down pretty easily. And it's still worthwhile. It's satisfying. But what's slowly happening as you eat more, and let's say that you're in a buffet and you don't have to pay more, what's happening? You're getting full. That's still good. I still like it. But your incremental, that marginal satisfaction, or what we would call the marginal utility, is going down with each piece of pizza. You still like it because you're still eating. We know you like it, right? You're getting some positive utility, but the utility you get from that incremental piece of pizza is going to be less. So this is a way bigger concept than just pizza. This has to do with any kind of thing that we have that we consume as part of our consumption basket. So whether it be cars, iPhones, or whatever, most of us can get by with many things with just one of them, right? But some of us are crazy and we like 50 different kinds of ratchets in our tool collection. But each one that you get beyond that will have less and less satisfaction because you've already got a bunch. Whatever thing, my wife loves a lot of shoes, but each one adds additional utility, but at a smaller rate than if you have no shoes. It kind of gets back to that adage, I complained about I didn't have any shoes until I saw the person that didn't have any feet, right? We need those basic things first and we value those highly, but once you get beyond a certain amount, it's going to go down further and further. So that's kind of that concept. And why do we think that's important? Because we have really two laws that we're going to be using, and we'll be introducing this. I'm going to just tease this for now because we'll introduce it next time. Demand curves slope downwards, and we're going to learn about that next time. But the reason they do primarily is because of diminishing marginal utility. which leads to the point that every additional consumption has an increasing opportunity cost in terms of what else you could have done. We'll hit that next time, but this is a fundamental thing. And if you don't believe it's true, just keep eating pizza and keep eating pizza, and eventually, I suspect you will get to that point in that meal. You'll find negative utility if you go high enough.
Thinking about marginal utility, or the concept of marginal versus, say, average or something like that. It seems that the marginal is forward-looking. It's that next
the decision
item.
making. Absolutely.
It's not what I did in the past. That's what economists would call a sunk cost, but it's what am I going to do going forward? That incremental one, as you say, that next piece of pizza.
That's absolutely correct. And the reason why that's correct is because economics is really all about kind of the science of choice, decision making. So it's always forward looking. And that's a great point you made. Thank you.
Well, great. Thank you for joining us today for this edition of No Free Lunch, Economics for a Fallen World.